to make sure we're live and in vivo. Pretty sure we are. I got a new intro for us guys and gals out there. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know I am enjoying it. Hold on. All right. I think we're good. Just confirm that we're live, Eric, and then we'll be good shape. Oh, shit. One more thing. All right. Are we live, bro?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, shows RPGrinders. We have obviously not started yet. I'm just getting my together here. There we go. My recording stuff. All right, we are live. All right. Breakman's gonna be a little late, Eric. So we're gonna have to start without him. But that's okay.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Maybe. But how do you convince a 4-year-old to watch movies without them being afraid that the movie might be scary?
That's a tough one. You have to have their trust. You basically tell them, do you trust me? I mean, 4 years old, they're kind of cognitive. They listen.
The thing is, like, they associate movies with scary because they saw a scary part of the movie once when they were watching Frozen.
Ah, well, you got to watch something different. You got to watch, like, another cartoon that you know that there's nothing really scary, and watch that cartoon with them, and then...
I guess maybe a good idea might be to read them a story about facing your fears, but
ooh, that's a good
they
idea.
might be too young for that right now.
You would be surprised, Eric. Kids are curious by nature. You would be really surprised.
You could talk to them about what things that scare them.
Yeah, what scares you? You know.
And why are you scared? And
yeah, why are you scared? You know, you try to appeal to their sense of curiosity more than anything, Eric. You know, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's not super tough, you know. It's nothing to really worry about.
I'm talking about my niece here.
Yeah, no, I feel
but I don't get the opportunity to talk to them that much.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do. You just you ask why they're scared. You say their feelings are very valid. You know, I could see where that would be scary, but you know, and as you get older, you tend to think of things as less scary. You know, stuff that scares you as a kid won't necessarily scare you when you get older. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you explain stuff like that to them. It's not. I mean, kids are smarter than people give them credit for, Eric. Curiosity should always be satiated and.
I just think it's funny that, like, my sister's kids are, like, 3 and 5 at the oldest. And they were watching the Ninja Turtles movie. And there's lots of scary parts in that movie.
Which movie?
The Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, okay.
It's the Seth Rogen one. Yeah, and that's the one with the gross fly monster, so...
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I have to still watch that. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of different ways, so, you know. We're going to have lots of fun on today's show. Breakman's going to be a little late. You know, not a ton of news, which is great. We're going to move on to, I don't have any reviews, and I don't think Eric has. Maybe Break does. Stinkos are going to be interesting this week. As always, Sweetos are also going to be interesting.
I'll have a lot of reviews next week, though.
You know what else I need to do? I need to show you guys my new tat. Hold on. Let me pull up my photos.
If the episode for the dub of the finale of season 2 of Mushoku Tensei had aired this week, I would have had a review for that. But it's apparently was a week behind, even more than its normal schedule would have allowed, because I guess the dub took a while.
Yeah.
Either that or the thing that told me the date for the episode was wrong, which is probably true.
I'm going to show you my tattoo, Eric. Hold on. Let me go ahead and find the where are you at? There it is. Boom. All right. Oh shit, that's way too big. Hold on. That's what she said. Anyways. All right. Hold on. All right, hold on. I gotta do this. Hang on 1 second. Let's see if this works. Can you see that, Eric?
Where, on the chat room?
No, in the
Oh, I gotta pull up the chat window.
Yeah, pull it up, and then you should. Well, no, look at. Yeah, you. Yeah, go ahead. See if you can see it.
You haven't posted anything.
No, not in chat, Eric. Like you have to go to the Twitch channel to look at it.
Oh, well, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's my new tat.
How much did it cost to get that?
Normally it'd be somewhere around $500, but he let me pay $400. I gave him $25 tip. I think it's pretty badass, and it's appropriate for RPGrinders because
I was just like saying, because like they have to be about that much for that level of ink.
Yeah. It was a lot of ink, a lot of ink and a lot of detail. But there you go. That's a beholder from Dungeons and Dragons. So very RPGrinders appropriate.
Yeah, I need to adjust my stinkos.
All right. Yeah, it's just now starting to peel. All right, so I'll go ahead and
put the layer of skin that he got inked on.
Yeah, it always scabs up, and you have to leave it alone, put ointment on it and stuff like that. But why is it doing that? Hold on. Let's do this. Comments. Where's the comment? Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. Shit, hold on. All right, we're about 5 minutes away from showtime. Show's RPGrinders. We have not started yet. We're waiting on our good friend Breakman. Well, actually, we're not going to wait on Breakman this week because he's going to be a little late, but we'll start on time for a change this week. Hang on 1 second. Let's do that. All right, I think we're ready now. So pretty cool tattoo, right, Eric? I mean, all things considered, I like it. I like it quite a bit. Like I said, the show's RPGrinders. I'm on with Eric. Breakman will be here a little bit late today, but we are going to have a fantastic time. Of course, you're not going to want to miss the Stinkos this week or the Sweetos. I think we got one more Panic Zone. I believe it's Breakman's. Yeah, Breakman's. And I'm going to debut a new intro this week, Eric. I thought I'd get ahead of episode 800 and preview a new intro, see if you guys like it. If not, I'll I'll make another one for episode 800, but I thought this one was really cool, so go ahead and debut that this week. See what you guys think, and go from there.
Watch it be Corey Feldman's song.
No,
in digitized form.
I should have trolled you guys that way, right? What's the name of that song? I can't remember, but that would have been funny as fuck, man. No, definitely not Corey Feldman. Something much better. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you guys enjoy it when I debut it today. The YouTubers and the Twitchers will get a preview of it before anybody else. So let's see. I think that's about it. We're gonna have a final. This is our last episode for the month, I believe. We're gonna take next Friday off. I think we rolled for it, right, Eric? I think you rolled for it or something, and we're gonna take next week off. I think it's a good time to take off, at least a week, to catch our bearings, catch our whatever, give us a chance to play games. Like I was fortunate enough to play games again for a second week in a row. I can't believe it. Been so busy, but I am enjoying what I've been playing, so I'll talk about that. I'm sure we're going to get into some politics in the second half of the show. Lots to talk about in that arena, so we are going to have as good of a time as we possibly can. So, a couple minutes, we'll get started, Eric. How was your week, Eric?
It was all right.
Yeah.
Started out hot, and then it got cool again. Now my throat's all fucked up because it doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, well, here it's just been fucking hot, and I'll talk about that. It's great for my plants, but not so much for me. And like I said, I'll talk about.
It's like my body just doesn't know what to do with sudden changes of temperature.
Yeah.
Oh, it's spring again? Have fun.
I know. Spring, now it's summer, now it's spring, now it's fall. Oh, okay. Well, we'll adjust accordingly. All right. You about ready to get started, Eric?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get started a little bit early. Let's do this. Welcome everybody to episode 783 793 of RPGrinders. I am your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohort Eric the Great. My other trusty cohort, Breakman the Bold, will be here momentarily. He's running slightly late today, but Eric, how are you, dude?
I'm better than can be expected, I guess.
That's good, man. That's always good to hear. All right, we don't have a ton of news, but let's go ahead and get into the news. See, I think Breakman is really slick. He misses news segments, and then he comes on in. Watch, I guarantee once we're done with the news, Breakman will come on in. What you want to bet, Eric?
Maybe.
I think what he does is he listens, and when we're done with the news, then he jumps in. We'll see how that rolls. Let's go ahead and get started with the news. RPG News. All right, Eric, you are up, sir.
Okay, from RPG site, you've got a updated roadmap for Raynaudis that comes out in fall, and September 27th in North America and Europe for PlayStation 5, for Switch, and PC. And these will be 9 updates, and they'll all be free updates, so you don't have to pay DLC for it. But it's going to have some story content, mostly.
All right, that's cool. What type of game is this, Eric? Action RPG?
An action RPG.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
And this is the game that is unofficially the I forget the name of the character, but he was the Rex character from Kingdom Hearts 3, which is basically the pseudo Noctis that was supposed to represent Final Fantasy 13, but not really, because I guess Disney didn't want them to put Final Fantasy characters in their game for some reason.
I got you. So more of a licensing issue than anything.
But like this developer worked on Kingdom Hearts, and they had since left Square, and they wanted to make a game that was basically that.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it you can tell there's some designs that are very Kingdom Heart-esque, right? I'm not talking the Disney characters, but the Final Fantasy part of it. Yeah, I can see that. All right, very cool. Something to look forward to, Eric.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, I remember the name of the character. It was Virum Rex.
Okay. Anything else on this, Eric?
And yeah, the visuals are like not really special, but I think it's the gameplay that's probably interesting. From what I've heard people describe it when they had played the preview when they went to a Summer Game Fest. Because I listened to a podcast for RPG site.
What does it play like, Eric?
I can't quite remember, but they did mention something about like there are 2 different types of attacks and then modes that you can switch in between. And you basically use magic in this one mode, and any hit you take reduces your magic meter, but you could just, as long as you don't get hit, I guess you could just keep blasting magic until you run out. But they'll be like supercharged. And then you go into the other mode to build it back up. And you could only do certain things in certain modes.
So it's like it brings a little bit of strategy to the games, because if you want to max out your magic, you'll use I'm assuming it's a melee type deal, and then you switch back to the magic. Okay, that sounds kind of cool, man. I'm definitely interested in that. Anything else, Eric?
Nope, that's it.
All right, next story comes to us from Gamatsu.com. River City Saga 3 Kingdoms next announced for PS4, Switch, and PC. I'm assuming PS5 as well. But there you go. So
yeah, this is basically, like, back in the day they had like a River City game that basically just lampooned the Romance of the Three Kingdoms story. Well, not a River City game, but the name of the series was something else in Japan. But it was basically one of those, and we never got it. But we did get that game eventually, and the River City and Double Dragon collection that came out a couple of years ago. But this is like a remake of that, I guess.
Yeah, and it looks pretty cool. It's a beat 'em up.
I think the only other one that did was like a feudal era Japan or something.
Yeah. I mean, interesting mashup, right, Eric?
This is China. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting mashup. I think it's cool. I mean, the River City stuff has always been kind of cool, So there you go. All right, Eric. Next story, please.
Story is a game called The Good Old Days. And it's a Metroidvania, or quote-unquote juvenile Metroidvania. And Gravity Game Arise is the name of the developer / publisher, I guess.
Juvenile Metroidvania?
Oh, no. The publisher is Yokogo Systems.
What does that mean? It's going to be easier or just...
I think it just means that you play as a kid.
Oh, okay. It'll probably be balls hard, right?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
exploration-based Metroidvania, so I guess there's not going to be much combat, which
Huh.
is interesting.
That's that is that is interesting. Not necessarily about standing up and fighting against an overbearing evil. Oh, that's cool. Real aim is to clear the debt by Sean's father within the time limit through
So you're basically looking for stuff to sell, I guess.
I like that. You know, there you go. Many ways to play and beat the game. Huh. Interesting. All right.
So I guess that means there might be different endings. Yeah.
Yep. Multiple endings too. Endings which are dynamically affected via multiple playthroughs. So that's cool too. I like that when there's meaningful consequences to, what you're doing. I think that's really cool. So obviously a lot of replay value in this game as well. So very good. All right. Let's see. You did that one, so I will do the next one from Gamatsu. Komaju Remilia, Scarlet Symphony. Bit about it. Koumaju Remilia, Scarlet Symphony has been loved by many gamers since its initial release. Highly praised for its quality gameplay and soundtrack, as well as Banpai Akira's sharp and gothic reinterpretation of Tohu project. Tohu, is that how I Tohu?
Toho.
Yeah, Tohu. Toho. Okay, I always get that wrong. Characters. This title is the enhanced version of the original game. Supports high definition. Blah blah blah. English. Okay. Full Japanese. So that's cool.
I'm not sure how the performance of the Switch version stacks up to the PC version, but this will probably at least be comparable to the PC version, if not better.
Yeah.
So it probably is going to be 4K support.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. And look,
but I hope this is the first game in the series, and there's a sequel, so I wonder if that's next.
And there's an extra easy mode in this game, which is really cool too.
Probably useful for beginners because the game is based on the Toho franchise, and the Toho franchise is a bunch of shmups with the bullet hell stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's incorporated into the gameplay here.
I like that. That's really cool.
There's another Toho game that's also a Metroidvania like this called... It's a little bit more anime-based rather than the Symphony look it's going for, but it's called Luna Nights, and you should play that too.
Huh. Well, there you go. Some expert advice from Eric RPG. All right, Eric, next stories.
Next story, Famicom Detective Club game in years.
30 years.
Many years.
I think it's
35 years.
Yeah, 35 years as well.
Not as much if you count the recent remakes of the first two games.
Yeah.
I think there's like at least 4 games, so I wonder why they skipped those. And technically there's 5 if you count the BS version that was released on the Satellaview for the Super Famicom.
So it's definitely a visual novel type
No,
game.
it's an adventure game, not a visual novel. But there are reading elements, so I guess that's why people get confused.
Got you. Well,
it's more like
choose your own adventure type deal then.
I think it might be more kinetic than that because
okay, all right.
But it's probably best more comparable to Portopia,
okay,
or Uninvited.
Got you. All right.
Or like there's one more game I'm thinking of, Shadowgate maybe.
Okay, I got you. It's a little more game centric, is what you're saying.
But like, this is the first M-rated game Nintendo's ever published in house.
Wow, that's a big thing. So they're starting to. I think what they're doing, Eric, is they're testing the waters with that. You know what I mean? So I think it's incumbent upon all of us to.
And it's even more amazing that they not only decided to do this and let them do this, but they're gonna release it in the West with a localization, and it's gonna have a physical release.
Wow!
People better buy this game.
I hope so.
Because I don't think a lot of people bought the other one, so I'm surprised that they even allowed this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. Very good.
I don't know. Maybe it's because Nintendo's thinking we can get the older audience to play this because it's being pitched as a mature rated game.
Maybe. I mean, I
think the problem with the last one is that it kind of just showed up in a direct one day, and they didn't really talk about it all that much, and they kind of pitched it to the wrong demographic, maybe.
Well, everything they pitch is going to be.
Which is why this didn't show up in the direct, and they showed it like only just a couple days ago.
Yeah, I think Eric, like all of Nintendo, like people still to this day have the perception that Nintendo is all about kiddie games like the Marios and Zeldas of the world. But I think this is a good step in the right direction. How many years have we said this, Eric, that they should really venture out and to do more adult-oriented content, like mature content? I know they did with the Resident Evil remake, which absolutely shocked the world when they did that. But I mean, they're going to have to do stuff like that to stay viable decades later because, like you said, Eric, the audience is just getting older and older, and then they need to be able to balance both worlds. I think they could make a shit ton more money that way, give us both.
Well, this does follow the reports that Nintendo was thinking about doing a black label for their games.
Yeah, and they should. They very well should. All right, let's do the next story coming to us live from Gamatsu. Choaniki collection announced for Switch includes PC Engine titles Choaniki and Ai Cho Aniki. So.
One more fact about the game that I should mention before we talk more about the Choniki, but the director is Sakamoto from Metroid. The series producer from Metroid is working on this game.
On Aniki? Choniki? Or the other one?
No, the Famicom Detective Club game.
Ah, I got you. Okay, well that's good information. Let's see. A crowdfunding campaign is planned. What? That's really weird. That was the entire story.
Probably for to garner support for this because it's something they want to do, but they probably need to convince a publisher that's worth doing.
They need like seed money to get it. Okay. All right, well, there's the whole story, and the final story goes
just because Idea is a small publisher,
yeah.
So it's probably hard to get the money to do stuff.
Yeah. All right, Eric, last story.
And I bet some of the money from the crowdsourcing campaign is probably going to go into localization of some sort.
All right,
but
Eric.
They're weird ass shmups.
Yeah. All right.
But, Castaway is coming out on August 16th, and it's coming out for everything. And it's a 2D retro pixel art action-adventure game. The character who's wearing an outfit that looks very strikingly similar to a certain character from a Zelda game. and it is pretty much the old-school Zelda game with a little bit of survivor elements.
Yeah. It looks a lot like Zelda. Even when the character dies, he kind of spins around and falls down, like in Zelda, those old school Zelda games. But it looks good.
It's also if you look at the character art for the chibi art, it basically looks like old school Link.
Yeah.
Just a bit updated to be more modern.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really good, Eric. I would be definitely interested in playing this. I love old school Zelda games, so, very good stuff there for sure. All right, let's see. We got done with the news. Do you have any homie discounts, Eric?
No, not really. I mean, I think there's some stuff on Humble, but I have to look at it to see
nothing on Indie Gala, right?
No, other than their usual sales.
All right, I think we need to move on to what we've been playing.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Actually, I do have a homie discount. I mean, if you look on Sony's thing, they got the new Essentials 70% off discount. There was some good stuff there. Like Sleeping Dogs is like less than $5. I mean, there are a ton of games you can get for less than $5, and some of those games are just fantastic. If you get a chance to pick up Sleeping Dogs, which is like kind of a smaller version of Grand Theft Auto.
It's not even that, because you're playing as a cop.
Right. I mean,
so it's more of a hard-boiled detective game.
Yeah, it's good. There's Mad Max, which I think is super, super awesome. I think that's one of the most underrated games out there, and you can get it for less than $5. Freak Five's in the house. What's up, Freak Fives? Before you ask, Breakman will be here soon. He's just running a little bit late. But yeah, there's. I mean, you just got to check it out. Sony is knocking it out of the park with their sales. They've got some of the Tomb Raiders on sale, which are pretty fantastic. Stuff like that. So I saw Deus Ex. Mankind Divided was less than $5. That's always a good pickup. I think did he break his alarm clock? I don't know. Let's see, what else was there? There was what's that? Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I think is a fantastic buy at less than $5.
Here's a homie discount. If you want to experience Mighty Number 9, it's only $2 on Steam.
Yeah. That's, I mean, $2. You could definitely get $2 worth out of that game.
It's not that bad of a game. It's just it needed a lot of help, but it didn't get it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's definitely worth $2. So get that. And there's all kinds of other sales going on. So make sure to check that out. We might have a more detailed sales list next week. All right, Eric, what have you been playing?
Just more Trails through Jaybreak. I'm on and around the midpoint of chapter 4 of 6.
All right. That's it?
Yep.
Freak 5 says, speaking of Tomb Raider, I saw some AI pictures earlier of Snoop Dogg as Lara Croft. Wow. That's
AI sucks. It's terrible.
I mean, come on, man. Not for nothing, but wow. Okay, well, I have been playing just a little bit more of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I gotta say, right now my initial impressions are it's more of the same with a couple extra elements, which is fine by me, because Breath of the Wild was one of the greatest games I've ever played. I'm hoping the game... I know the game's going to open up more as I go along, but there's already a lot to love about Tears of the Kingdom, for sure. So,
Have you made any goofy vehicles yet?
Not yet. I'm just starting out, Eric. I'm exploring everything I can possibly explore.
I think one of the first things you should do is go to the underground and do the mission that gets you a blueprint for an item that will definitely help out you with the rest of the game.
Yeah, I might.
It's a mission I think you get in the landing place.
Really?
She directs it to you almost immediately.
Wow. Okay. Well, I will do that. You'll have to talk to me offline a little bit more about that, Eric, because I'm literally at the beginning, but I'm exploring everything and trying to do everything, and just taking my time with it, because that game is, I could tell it's fantastic. So just doing my thing with it. So Break is not here. I don't have any. Do you have any reviews, Eric, by chance?
No, I didn't get a chance to put anything up this week.
Damn, we're just zooming along. We're going to have to get Breaks, what he's been playing, and also if he has... we're just going to run the gamut with Break once he gets here, but we're already up to everybody's favorite segment, because I don't have any reviews this week.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
All right, Eric, your Stinko of the Week.
I kind of wanted to talk about it before Break got here, so maybe you could go first.
Okay, I can go first. Hopefully he gets here, but... Okay, so my Stinko is specifically about no medical report for the Trump shooting. There are new reports that Trump actually did not get shot, and he got hit with a shard of glass, which, don't get me wrong, it still doesn't diminish what happened. But it's a lot less serious.
But he totally played up his injury.
Right. Well, my mom called that shit out, Eric. She used to be a nurse, and she was like,
he went golfing the next day, and he wasn't even wearing any kind of bandages.
Yeah, well, that's
fine.
And
then the next day, you see pictures of him with a bandage on his ear. It's like he didn't need to put that on, but he did it just to make it look like it was worse than it was.
Right. Well, my mom made an observation. She was a nurse, and she made an observation. Oh my God, Freak 5 just sent me the fucking
the abomination AI picture.
Yeah, of Snoop Dogg as Laura Croft, and come on, dude, come on, man. Why ruin my image?
Does she like 5 or 6 fingers or whatever?
No, it's Snoop Dogg as...
No, I'm still asking that. Do they still have, like, more fingers than they should?
Oh, yeah.
Because AI still can't get that right.
Nope, I think it's very accurate. If you just... I mean, very hot if you just put your thumb over Snoop Dogg's face. You know what I mean? So...
because Snoop isn't exactly the most attractive dude.
No, not at all. But wow, that's something else. I mean, very, very hot. Other than the head, I have to say, Freak 5. You know, so there you go. Let's see. What else do we got here? So, yeah, that's my first thing is no medical report. So, I think the later reports of it being glass are the truth. Initially, it was, I mean, I even did a whole show on it on my other channel about Trump getting shot, and what is that, Eric? Are you okay?
I'm grabbing a tissue.
Wow. Okay. So that, I mean, that kind of changes the dynamic, right? It doesn't put him in a really, really strong light, I guess is the best way. Freak 5 says his stinko is that I have been having car problems, got it back from the mechanic, and less than a week later had to take it back. $1,000.
This is probably the point where you just need to get a new one.
I don't know, man.
Something's gonna go wrong with it every week or month or whatever.
God, that sucks. What kind of car do you have, Freak 5? Because that really sucks. So yeah, what do you think about that, Eric? No medical report yet for the Trump quote-unquote shooting.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it was very...
No, it's bullshit that there isn't one.
Yeah, I know. That is bullshit. Freak 5 says it's fairly new. 2018 Kia Optima. Kias don't exactly have the, I guess, best reputation as being mechanically sound, but I do like the Kia Optimas. That's kind of weird, Freak 5, that you're experiencing those issues. 6 years old, maybe. What was wrong with it, Freak 5? I mean, $1,000 seems like a lot of money. The screen on my Apple Watch isn't working. Do you have insurance on that? Wow. And those things aren't cheap either, the Apple Watches. So, wow. Yeah. I don't have an Apple Watch. Wish I did. Not for the fitness shit, but for other things, but whatever. But car stuff sucks. I have to pay... Well, what is it? $2,600 and some odd dollars on Tuesday to get my car back. But check this out, Eric. My car, like initially, they gave me $1,600, right? So they gave me $2,600 technically, but $1,000 was for the deductible. So that left me with $1,600, right? So I kept it in my account because I'm like, I want to get my car fixed. It's newer. And I'm not going to roll around with a car with a bunch of big ass dents in it from hail. So I took it in, and you know how much they said it's going to cost, Eric? I'll give you a guess.
$300.
Ha! Try 6,000 additional dollars to the 2,600. So when it's all said and done, it's going to be cost about $9,000. So my insurance actually did me good this year, I guess. So, you know. First issue was something with the spark plugs and something else I don't remember. Second time it was a problem with the battery. Currently the alarm on my watch is going off and I can't turn off the alarm. Wow. That sucks. Sorry to hear you're having issues, Freak 5, especially when it costs that much, man. It's out of control. But on a bright note, my insurance went from $3,000 to $2,000 every 6 months, so that's really good. I mean, you know, so there we go. All right.
Coverage went to that much, Jimmy?
Yeah, it cost me $3,000 every 6 months, full coverage. But still, that's a lot of money, you know. So, all right, Eric. I got one more. So my second stinko is the heat here in Denver. All right, so we've been getting record heat like everywhere else, but in Denver, we're so used to little to no humidity. I'm talking when we get 10% humidity, like we're dying, right? And I know out east it's a lot different. You guys get a lot more humidity, but we're just not used to it in Denver. And we've been getting like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% humidity. And
I'd rather take the dry heat of Vegas any day over
any
summer in Ohio.
Oh my God, it's
where
awful.
It's so goddamn humid.
Yeah, I don't like the humidity.
Especially
at all,
where
man.
I live right next to a lake, so of course it's going to be humid all the time.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, man. I mean, it's just it's just unusual here in Denver. We're not, we don't have a lot of water here, so it is what it is. I mean, the mountains have water, but it's just been really weird to have these humidity heat days, and coupled with record temperatures like 104, 103, it's just almost unbearable. I don't know how people in Arizona live. I don't know how people in Texas live, Louisiana, all the southern states. I don't get it. I'd rather live someplace like here where it doesn't get that extreme weather except for now. Or someplace like California or Florida, I guess. I don't know. Maybe California. But yeah, humidity sucks in conjunction with heat. So,
If you lived in Florida, you'd have to worry about floods most of the time.
Worry about what?
Floods.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you do. I mean, and hurricanes and shit like that. See, Colorado, we don't have to worry about any of that shit. And the winters are tolerable. I know out east, like when it snows, the snow fucking sticks forever, like where Freak 5 is in Iowa and out places out east, like the winters are brutal, man. I don't know how y'all do it, but whatever. All right, we'll get Breakman's stuff. Did you want to go through yours and then we'll get his take on yours later, Eric? I mean, yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Anyways, my stinker is Jack Black for completely and utterly showing his ass to us. If it didn't bother you before that he had supported and apparently has support, the player just died for some reason. But anyways, he had been supporting Autism Speaks, which is a red flag in and of itself, for years, and then hosted 2 events in 2013 and 2015. And he had to have known about how bullshit they were. But, I almost forgot about this, but back in October, he basically showed support for Israel. But now, most recently, he broke up Tenacious D, and after canceling the tour, after listening to his PR team, because him and his partner, Kyle, clearly are anti-Trump supporters. They were live at the concert. I saw a video of this, and they are basically cheering the joke that he made about Next time, don't miss. Referring to Trump's shot.
Yeah, I didn't like that comment at all,
Yeah, I mean,
Eric.
all he had to do was basically say, that wasn't cool. Don't do it again ever.
Yeah,
And maybe you need to rethink certain things about your life. But he decided to break the band up over this because apparently insurance companies were not satisfied with this. But he completely threw him under the bus and did this because he's so afraid of losing his career, even though with the money he makes, it probably wasn't going to affect him anyway. But
yeah.
he made it a bigger deal than it needed to be, and it's just bullshit.
Yeah,
Because he's not even sincere about it. He's just doing it for the money, and at this point, he's just a person who doesn't have any individuality anymore. He's just going to do whatever the PR company tells him to do.
Yeah, I think that's problematic for sure, Eric. I was really disappointed in that. I actually was disappointed in that comment as well. I mean, whether or not, I mean, you can have your private thoughts, right? Be it like if I'm here in my house and I'm discussing with somebody, especially with somebody as much as at stake as Kyle Gass has, Eric, like he had to have known if he said that was going to cost him at the very least a lot of money, right? At least initially. So I'm not necessarily unhappy with the backlash, but I'm unhappy with Jack Black's stance. I mean, they, like you said, they could have worked this out, right? Okay, it was a mistake. People make mistakes, and you move on from it. It doesn't have to be a world-ending thing. And then you find out how big of a Zionist Jack Black is, and then it becomes uber disappointing. I mean, you can be in favor of it.
Yeah, it didn't come out of the blue. I mean, he's changed completely within the last couple of years, and this is just, I guess, the biggest thing he could have ever done that you could have had real problems with.
Breakman says, "Burn the world, burn, burn, burn." Hey, Breakman, are you ready to go, buddy? Can I give you a ring-a-ding? Let's see if I can add break to the convo here. Hold on. Let's see if we can get our good friend Bake. Are you ready to All right, hang on. Here we go. Let's get break on in. Hold on.
Anyway, so.
I'm a fan of Tenacious D. I think they're all right. Breakman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Right on, man. Send Break those pictures.
Did I get here in time? Is the news done?
You missed the news, sir. You missed the news.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he did plan on.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to send you something. Hold on. I'm not going to tell Breakman what I'm going to send, but let me...
Secret dick pics.
Yeah, I'm going to send you my dick pic, Break. Hold on. I need your opinion.
Right, that's fine. You can send me all dick pics.
All right.
I'm not gonna...
Okay. Here you go. Here's a dick pic. Tell me what you think of what I just sent you, Break. Freak 5 sent me this, so don't blame me. Don't blame the messenger here. Yeah, freaks only fans. Frank wants a dick rating. It would be off the charts, man. All right.
Where did you put it? I don't see it in chat.
No, I sent it to your phone.
I think it's in the Skype chat.
No, I sent it to your phone. Break.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. Just check it out. Tell me what you think. Click on the link.
What in the hell is this?
That's funny, man. What do you think of those pictures, man? Actually, Freak 5 sent me one of his fantasies, and he wanted to show me, I guess, and there it is. Snoop Dogg as Laura Croft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I told him, Break? You know what I told him? I said, if you put your hand over Snoop Dogg's face, I'm all in, right? But then you look at Snoop Dogg and then you're like, I'm all out. Yeah.
Frank,
so
what? You don't know what's in them pants.
All right, let's what have you been playing, Break, since we already did that and we didn't get to hear what you were playing?
Mostly Borderlands 3. I'm just trying to get the last achievements, which are find all the locations and stuff like that. I keep doing every mission I can find, and I still don't understand why I can't find like the last areas.
Huh. Okay.
Ever.
Well,
Whatever. I'm just gonna keep killing stuff until I find them.
yeah. Did
Murder,
you
death, kill.
did you have any reviews this week? Break.
Um, I guess I could review the Alkalite, Star Wars Alkalite.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what was the last series they had? Ahsoka,
Yeah.
which
Yeah. So,
I wasn't that big on. I still gave it good enough marks. I think I gave it like a 6, but like I felt like they needed to go something with a new direction, new storytelling in the Star Wars universe, and this is kind of what I was asking for. It's set 100 years before the A New Hope, or is it before Phantom Menace? One of the two, I'm not sure.
I think it's Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. Okay, so it's 100 years in the future or in the past. I'm sorry, and it's when the Jedi Order is strong and they're the heroes of the galaxy, the protectors. And this starts out with the story of a mysterious young girl who kills Carrie Ann Moss at the very fucking beginning.
wow.
I said let me see if you get this term. I said to the other people and they didn't get it. They Drew Barrymore us with her essentially.
Yeah. Well,
you understand that?
Yes, I get it. I get that reference. That's a Scream reference.
Thank you. See, I said that, and everybody was like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm saying they hired this big name actress, and they got her in there, and they killed her off right away.
Yeah.
Just for what they did to Carrie Ann Moss. She does get one more episode to come back and like they kind of show like what happened, why they killed her.
Yeah.
But
well,
for the most part, it's like, hey, look, we got this big name actress. She dead.
Yeah. I always refer to her as the Matrix chick. She also had a good role in Memento, if you remember that movie. But yeah,
that's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
I need to see it.
Yeah, it's a movie done in reverse, which is weird, and I've seen
and it's made in a way to make you root for the quote unquote hero, and not until you get really to the end, which is actually the beginning, do you really understand that the guy's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you're rooting for the wrong guy the whole goddamn time.
Yeah. It's a good movie for sure. It's a mindfuck movie for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, this story is basically there are two twin girls. One flunked out of being a Jedi, and the other one was following the path of the dark side. Essentially, she found a dark side master, and she's hunting down the Jedi that were responsible for the what happened on like whatever 16 years ago or something when they were kids. Like, whatever the story is, but so there's kind of a mystery to it, and there's kind of they address some of the dogma of the Jedi.
Yeah,
like they're not always so perfect.
Yeah.
Even when they are well-meaning.
I like that. I like that a lot because sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of like fan theories about the Jedi and stuff like that, and none of it. I mean, everybody looks at it like the Skywalker, perfect angel type, character Yoda, and then they don't delve into the problematic aspects of it. Really, they did in the comics quite a bit, but. Sounds like this show is starting to delve into that territory.
Oh, definitely.
I saw some people hating on it because I guess it didn't feel Star Wars enough for them. But like, we got a wuxia with Star Wars stuff in it. I think that's more than worth the admission price.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
About to say actually, shit, I have to think of what I was going to say.
Lightsaber whips.
No, they only show that for just a moment. Yoda and Obi-Wan and all those. One thing that's not really, I don't think is clear to a lot of casual fans is they were the best of the best Jedis. Yeah. Like these weren't like the everyday run-of-your-mill Jedi. They were the best of the best. Yeah. So they were going to be the most shining examples of being Jedi.
That's why the battle, I believe in Phantom Menace, where you saw the Jedi's kind of last stand with Mace Windu and all those Jedi's, like that battle was actually supposed to be a lot more epic, and
Right.
I think it fell completely flat. But in the comics, like if I remember correctly, like everything was leading up to that. Like those were the best of the best, right?
Mhm.
And they got fucking killed off by the Siths, so yeah, I like that break. This is actually interesting. I haven't been interested. I was wondering about Acolyte, whether it was worth watching. And it sounds like it's something worth a watch.
So there's basically two girls, one on a quest to find her sister, who is the one who killed Carrie Ann Moss at the beginning, and there's they touch on the dark. There's a dark side character, and they kind of, I mean, they make a really good case for seducing somebody to the dark side at some points, like as far as like emotion and such. He's saying, like, essentially Jedi tell you you can't love and you can't care for people, and that's stupid. Essentially, you're a human being. You have to love and you have to care.
Right, right. And
Yeah,
hate too. Like
and
you have,
hate,
yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
So
and oh yeah, there's a brilliant moment in the last episode featuring hate, and I don't want to spoil anything else.
yeah.
I give it a 7. It's a good show. I like it.
All right, that seems fair, man. That seems very, very fair. All right, no other reviews break?
Yeah. Oh, you're not going to see any. Oh, you'll see the back of Yoda's head. That is the only character you'll know. And
Wow. Okay.
that's it.
Uh,
These are all original characters, which is something else I think Star Wars needed. Like,
yeah.
which is one of the reasons I think Rogue One was so good. For the most part, it was all new characters.
I
A
love
complete
Rogue
new
One.
story. They
Yeah.
weren't relying so much on, even though this was a story set between two movies, they weren't really relying as much on the legacy characters as they were on telling a story.
See, they need to do that with the new trilogy. They need to introduce all new characters, maybe 200-300 years in the future.
That's what they should have done the last time.
Yeah, yeah. All
They,
right.
they should have introduced like holograms of like our heroes from the original. Like, these are the heroes from 200 years ago.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
like
Yeah.
Luke's a Force ghost now, and he can teach you and all that shit. Like, they can find ways to bring all the characters back in without like making the story as convoluted as they did in the
Yeah.
last show.
Convoluted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me run through the stinkos we already did break. Eric stinko was Jack Black. Your thoughts on Jack Black disforming or well, however you say it, disbanding Tenacious D for Kyle Gauss's comments about Trump?
I think we'll see like how this goes. Like, he probably wants some. He kind of has to do it because he's a big time celebrity, and you can't be attached with somebody condoning the assassination of a former president.
Yeah, I was
Can
very, very
hurt his career.
disappointed. Honestly, as much as I can't stand Trump, I was really disappointed in those comments. Okay, so to piggyback off of that, my stinko breakman was no medical report yet for the Trump shooting. So let me get your thoughts on that first.
Okay. Well, that kind of leads into one of my stinkos. Is basically the whole, besides the assassination attempt, the billions and billions of conspiracy theories that are blowing up around it from all directions. He was hit by a teleprompter. It was staged by Trump. The police helped in the assassination attempt. He's a registered Democrat or registered Republican, or he donated to Republicans. He donated to Democrats. I've heard a billion conspiracy theories, and people need to fucking stop.
Okay.
We're not helping anything by like spreading all these conspiracy theories,
right,
because they spread, and some people will believe them as facts from there on out.
Right. The latest reporting, though, I will tell you.
Yes,
break.
Going with latest reporting is one thing. Like, if they report something and then they later say, oh, "Okay, we were wrong about this," that's one thing.
Yeah.
That's you doing your research and looking into it, not spreading conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So the latest reporting, and I'll get your thoughts on this because this was part of my stinko as well, is that Trump was not hit by a bullet. His ear was not hit by a bullet. It was hit by a glass. You mentioned the teleprompter. So one of the bullets hit the teleprompter, and a piece of glass, a shard of glass, actually caused the injuries to Trump. So he was not shot at all. What are your thoughts on that?
He was. Here are my thoughts on this. A young man with mental problems of some sort. We don't know much. We have no idea why he did what he did. He was able to sneak up onto a roof outside of a Trump convention and get some shots off. I mean, he killed. There were innocent people that were killed by bullets.
Yes.
Like people shot with bullets. Like it's not. Like I have no reason to think that he was hit by glass or a teleprompter or anything else like that. He was hit by an assassin with bad aim.
Okay.
And the only reason that assassin had a chance to get up there wasn't because the police aided him or the CIA or Secret Service. It's because they're fucking inept.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah, that I think is true, Breakman. I do think Trump. This is the reason why I think the latest reporting is accurate, Breakman, and I mentioned it earlier. My mom was a nurse, and before she heard this reporting, she said, "Why does he have the dressing was weird on his ear, right? It was like this square thing on his ear, gauze, whatever." And she said, if he had got hit with a bullet, and she's had patients like this that were hit, like grazed on the side of their head, whether it was the ear or the side of the head with a bullet, they would have wrapped it around his head. So he would have had a head wrap around that ear. So she knew it wasn't a bullet. She firmly, as a medical professional, she firmly believes that it was a piece of glass instead of the blood the way that it was on his face would indicate that as well. So I am definitely starting to believe that the glass hit him and not the bullet. So either way, I think it's a terrible thing that somebody was shooting at him. I mean, that's awful for anybody, right?
Yeah.
So Trump definitely. Yeah, go ahead.
We've talked about how I feel about Trump. There are a few people that hate him more than I do.
Yeah.
And like I have no reason to believe that anything he's saying about this is false because we saw it all happen.
Yeah.
We saw the kind of reaction at one. He was like, "What?" Like that. We heard the sounds, and he kind of looked in that direction, and then you see him grabbing for his ear, and next thing you know, he's tackled by Secret Service.
Yeah. Well, there were definitely shots fired towards his direction. There's no doubt about that. Break. No doubt.
You just don't think a bullet hit him. You think it was something that reflected.
I don't think it was a bullet.
And I think he took advantage of this fact to garner sympathy for himself.
Yeah. I do believe that. But we're going to get to Sweetos here in a second, and we'll talk about that.
That's definitely a whole part of it now. Like, now he's got this whole... and I don't think it actually is going to give him votes like he seems to think, unless he can find a way.
It won't. I mean, he already kind of hasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole thing is I don't think he's tried to play it up as much as he really could. And look at his supporters. Like, they thought it would be all cute and fancy to wear bandages on their ear as like to show uniform with Trump. The same people that are okay when children die in schools from
right, exactly.
But it reminded me of that episode of South Park when everybody was trying to say that they accept that woman with conjoined twins on her head.
Right.
So they all wear hats with conjoined twin.
Yeah.
Remember that episode?
Right.
Like that. Like the people that are that stupid.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, here's something that Freak says that I believe too. Then there's the bullshit of how God saved Trump, and I think yet he killed 2 innocent people, and not just one, Freak 5. There were 2 people that were killed that day, and one person, I haven't heard about the last person, but they were in critical condition last
They're
time.
clearly sinners, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't think I thought they were still hospitalized. I didn't think.
No, there were 2 that were in critical, and one ended up dying. The other one, I don't know about yet. So there's 2 people that were killed. So definitely a serious situation. Actually, there were 3 people killed. 2 people in the audience, and one, obviously the shooter was killed too. But
Right.
so there's that. Okay, my final stinko before we get to yours, Breakman, is the heat. What is your take on the
Well,
heat that we've been
well,
experiencing?
before we move to the heat, I actually wanted to add something on to what we were just talking about. Um, when kids are shot up in school, we're always told it's too soon to talk about gun violence and implementing gun rules and stuff like that. Is it too soon now? Can we start
Yeah,
talking about it now?
well, according to the NRA, it would be.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We have to honor the president's ear. I
Yeah.
mean, the former president's ear.
Yeah,
Okay.
former president here. Yes. All right. Now, what do you think about the heat that we've been experiencing? Because I was talking about Denver and how we always have dry heat, but it's been way too humid here
Yeah.
for my liking. So, what do you think about that? Right.
When it's just hot, it's fine, but when it's humid, it's like the fucking worst.
Right.
That's what I like.
Swamp. You get swamp ass and crotch.
Yeah.
Crotch
Yeah.
sweat. Yeah.
You know how it is in Nevada, Frank. Like, it was so nice in Vegas. Like, it's so freaking hot, but it's not humid.
Right. Well, I don't like it when it gets like over 100 break. Like I can't take that shit, But if it's like 80s, 90s with no humidity, that's okay. You can take that, especially not in Denver. In Denver, if it's 80 to 90, you might as well add 10 degrees to that because we're closer to the sun. So it feels like super hot, but yeah, I agree. Like Nevada, I can handle 80s and 90s in Nevada, no problem. Yeah.
But yeah, usually for people like us, like it's humidity in our states. Like, at least we don't live in, say, a southern state like Georgia, where I can't imagine how hot it could be.
Ooh, like Texas and like Houston.
Texas. Oh yeah, I've just been Texas too.
Louisiana, all those southern states, man. Yuck. Fucking you go outside and you're instantly fucking sweaty McSweaterton, Ugh. Okay.
Have air conditioner, like literally old people are dying from heat exhaustion and stuff like that from not having air conditioners.
Well, according to Bernie in Phoenix, a lot of like elderly people and homeless people die in that 120-degree heat. So I could see that, man. Golly, man, way too hot,
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So now on to your stinko, Breakman. Your stinko.
Okay, so I have several as usual. Let's see here. Let me answer about guns.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
reading what I wrote
There you
down. Just stay with politics, even though we walked away from politics and go right back into it. Well, the worst decision in the court history happened this week is judge decided to completely toss out everything on Trump's trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that. Like, other than that's what's going to happen if Trump gets back in the office and has any kind of power whatsoever. If he has just the House or the Senate, we saw what happened last time. This time he'll feel unimpeded and he'll feel empowered, honestly. And I just fear what will happen.
Okay.
Because he's been proven to be above the law.
Yeah.
I mean, and the judges and the Supreme Court's doing everything they can to aid him. And
As much as I don't want to, I'm probably going to end up voting for Biden.
Well, hold on to that thought, Eric. Hold on to that thought. Okay. Continue on, Breakman.
yes. Next we have, speaking of Biden, the Democratic Party just now realizing that they should walk away from Biden.
Okay. Well, that gets into my sweeto. So do you have any others before we talk that, Break?
Yeah, I do actually have others. So,
They can't now. It's too late.
No,
yes,
hold on.
my point.
No, hold on. I'll talk about it in a minute. Next.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. The other stinkos are to rest in peace, Richard Simmons, Shannon Doherty, Dr. Roof, and Bob fucking Newhart.
I heard Bob Newhart died yesterday, right?
Yes. If you guys have been playing the game, if you caught it, like, I have a Bob Newhart joke in every level of the game. I've had one.
Yeah.
Like, I like Newhart a lot. I was using his. Daryl and Daryl joke.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was in his 90s, to be fair.
I
Brake.
know, I know, but I'm still sad about
I
it.
know, I know. It is sad because I think Bob Newhart is one of the most underrated comedians of all time, if that makes sense. I don't know.
He mastered dry comedy more than anybody ever saw. The only other one who'd ever come close to that, I think, was Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he passed away too. Jesus.
Yes, and he's gone too. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, it's been a rough week for life in general.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to some happier thoughts.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweeto of the week.
All right, Brakeman, what is your sweeto or sweetos of the week?
I didn't actually write anything down.
Oh, okay. Nothing?
I did have something. I got to think about it.
All right,
Eric,
did you have any sweetos?
There's nothing really to talk about this week.
All right, well, I have a couple. Let me pull up a picture of the first one and show you guys this. If you can see the feed right now, which I know if you're listening on the replay crew, you can see it on Twitch and YouTube if you're looking at the visuals. If you're listening on the podcast, you cannot see it, but it's my new tattoo. Do you guys see that?
Ooh, damn. That's detailed.
Yeah, that's and it's appropriate for RPGrinders because what that is one of the most feared monsters in all of Dungeons and Dragons, and Freak 5 is going to know what that is. So I'll let Freak 5 announce what it is in chat here in a second. He says, one sweeto, today's truck was small, so I used 2 hours of PTO to leave early. I think that's a very valid sweeto, Freak 5. Anytime you can use PTO to jettison on out of work, that's a good idea. But that's my what is that, Freak 5? I know Freak 5 knows what it is. I know Freak 5 knows what it is. It's a monster from D&D. Let's see what he says. This is a picture of Freak 5 losing his virginity. A person of the person who took Freak 5's virginity. No, that is incorrect, Freak 5. I know he knows what it is. He's being cheeky. It is a beholder. And beholder is one of the most, yes, it's a beholder. That's what I got on my shoulder. I have a tattoo of a beholder on my shoulder, so to speak. So there you go. All right. So that's my first sweeto. The second sweeto, you touched on it, and you think it's a stinko, Brakeman, but I actually think it's a absolute slam dunk sweeto of the week, and that is all of the reports are pointing towards Biden dropping out of the presidential race. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to be a sweeto. All right? It's not too little too late. Break. It is not. It is absolutely the right thing to do, and there is plenty of time into the run-up to the election to drum up a lot of excitement, because I can tell you honestly, from all the polling that I don't believe in polling all that much, but if you read the polling, no president has had an approval rating of in the 30s, incumbent or not, and won the presidential race. So that is one poll that I do pay attention to, and it was absolutely the right thing to do, and it is something that the Democratic Party can absolutely be energized if, this is a big if, they pick the proper ticket. They don't necessarily need to bring out a populist president, but a populist vice president would probably do the trick, and the Democrats will easily beat Trump in November. So you think it's a stinko, right, Brakeman?
So, I guess my question to you is, who would be Kamala's running mate?
That is a good question. I can think of a few
who
people.
Would be elevated to their number one spot.
Yes.
And my second question is, what country do you think we live in? You really think this country is going to elect a black woman as president?
No, No. Unless it's Michelle
An
Obama.
interracial woman, any
Well,
woman of color.
well, people said the same thing about Obama when he ran,
Yeah,
Breakman. So
but
there,
Obama was like that. There was like a avalanche of support for Obama coming from
well,
everywhere.
I mean, nobody thought it possible, right? So nobody thinks it's possible now, and I'm here to assuage all the fears. It is possible. It's not necessarily going to be Kamala, but the winds are trending that way. But it all depends on the vice president pick. There are a few candidates out there that people would be excited for. One of them would be Jamie Raskin, right? He's I would say he's a little more left leaning than the normal establishment Democrat. So I would be semi excited about Kamala Harris Raskin ticket. I would be extremely interested in a Kamala Harris Ro Khanna ticket, right? Ro Khanna's out of California, and he is a progressive. He thinks of um, progressive things like higher minimum wage. Basically, think of a really young Bernie Sanders, and there's Ro Khanna, right? I could think of somebody like Warnock. Reverend Warnock would be an exciting pick as VP. Either way, I think you're not giving enough credit to the left, Breakman, and their way of thinking. I think that there are plenty of candidates that would get people excited to vote for in November, and there is plenty of time to
That's
do
where
it.
that's where I completely disagree with you.
And
There's
here's
just you've got to do a lot of campaigning. I mean, Trump has been campaigning forever, and Biden's even been campaigning at this point. I mean, whoever would replace Biden is behind. Immediately, they're behind.
no. Depends on the candidate. Break. You have one
They
debate.
got a campaign. Like,
Look,
yeah, I'm sure most people know who the vice president is, but this is America, so I guarantee you not everybody knows who the vice president is.
okay. Well, here's my thing. Break. As bad as that debate performance was for Biden, and make no mistake, it was one of the worst things ever. All it takes is one, and I
No,
mean, I mean,
we beat Medicaid.
what?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was imitating Biden.
Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is, all it takes is one debate performance by somebody that knocks it out of the park, and we are right back into a dogfight. Okay, so we're not talking about Democratic voters or Republican voters. They are dead set in their ways. I've said it many times. The two-party system sucks, and we always have to vote for either, your party candidate is almost a lock. You're going to vote for your person, right? Whether you're a Democrat or Republican. So we're not talking about the Democrats and Republicans. The Democrats are going to get their votes, right? The country is almost 50-50. Is that an agreement, Breakman? We're already
I don't think so. Like, I think this country's not evenly split down the middle. There's so many of us with so many diverse thoughts and feelings, and a lot of them cross over to different parties. I don't disagree with everything the Republicans say. I don't disagree with everything, or don't disagree with everything Democrats say.
I agree, Breakman. But let's say for our purposes
they
here,
have split us down the middle.
I agree. But there is a split down the middle. You're either Democrat or Republican. You have to vote one or the other. Am I right or wrong about that?
Well, there's still people who are not going to vote for those. I mean, there are still the Green Party and other.
Yeah, but they don't matter.
This arguments that they don't count because it's a small number.
Right. It's such a small number. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Your Freak 5 is correct. It's more 45 with 10 as independent, not the independent party, but independent.
I go with that number. I like that number.
Okay, I think that's accurate, right? So all we're talking about is that 10%. If you can get the majority of that 10%, I'm talking about 7% because you got to figure different states and stuff like that. I think that's the path to the White House. So you don't think that we could convince everybody? I'm not talking just Democrats, But you don't think if there's a populist candidate on the left that they won't vote for that person instead of Trump? We've already seen what a disaster Trump is. So you mean to tell me we can't get that 10%, the majority of people, to vote the other way? I think you're sorely mistaken. I think there's an easy path to winning in November. It just depends on who you pick. I think people...
See, one thing you're underestimating, too, is not everybody thinks that Donald Trump's a train wreck. We know he's a criminal who should be in prison.
Yes.
I mean, that's a fact. But half the country doesn't believe that. And another part of the country is like, yeah, they don't really care.
Okay, but that still lies within the 45%. You're still in the 45% of the Republican voters break. Do you think any Democrat is going to be out of their mind voting for Trump?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. Like, voter turnout is never high, too.
No, that's true too. I mean, it's weird.
So I'm saying, like, somebody like Trump, who has got a loyal base, is going to have a better chance of getting that base out to a complete unknown.
I agree, but
in a few months. I mean, there's 4 months left.
Breakman, this is what I know. Okay, I know that if Biden were to go up against Trump, it would be one of the most disastrous Democratic presidential races ever. They were talking about numbers on CNN, not just Fox, right? I'm not talking Fox numbers because Fox is out of their mind. But CNN, who, I mean, not for nothing, is definitely been anti-Trump for the last fucking 4 years at least, right? So you're looking at numbers in the 300s for Trump. 303 was the last number in the Electoral College for Trump. That is an absolute landslide if Joe Biden ran. So what I'm saying is, at least there's a shot with a different candidate. There is no shot with Biden at all. I
disagree with that wholeheartedly because, look, in the last 2 elections, it was supposed to be the last election was supposed to be close. It turned out not to be close. It was a landslide for Biden. And the election before that was supposed to be a landslide for Clinton. None of those things turned out as the polls said.
Yeah, well, look, if not for nothing...
Polls that we know are liars.
I know. But not for nothing, Breakman, what I'm telling you is if Biden went up against Trump this time, the tea leaves are... I'm reading the tea leaves, and the tea leaves are saying, run away from Biden, run away, run away, run away. I agree, it should have been way earlier, right? It should have been at the end of his term. He should have said, you know what, I'm like a year ago, I'm not going to run, but I'm going to steer the country in the right direction. We'll find another candidate for you. But you're I agree with you 100% on that. But
and look what happened. We went through a Democratic primary where Democratic challengers, do you even remember any of their names?
I do, but there was no Democratic primary. That's the problem.
For the most part, and that's like you're talking about like Democrats getting behind somebody else, and so far, like a lot of them are still fully behind Biden, too. Like this is
no, my friend.
Stuff has to change.
Well, I can tell you, it's changed within the last week. Breakman, everybody is saying get out of the race, whether it's Jamie Raskin.
No, not everybody, because there have been several Democrats who have come out in favor of Biden.
Okay,
too.
They are for now, but I'm telling you, within this week, he's going to drop out. And I'm going to tell you the main players that have...
Want money on this one or something? That's not happening.
Hold on. Listen to me, Break. Just listen.
Why? I want money.
Just listen. Chuck Schumer, all right, the head Democrat in the Senate, wants Biden, he's on the record, Biden drop out. That's a big one. Would you agree or not? Okay.
Chuck Schumer?
Hakeem Jeffries in the House, the minority leader, Biden drop out. That's a big one. Nancy Pelosi wants Biden to drop out. She's been working the phones. All reports indicate.
You know what Biden said the other night, though, right? He had a press conference just to tell people, fuck that.
Yeah, right. But he's now being more receptive to dropping out. And I'm telling you, Breakman, this week is going to be the week. You'll see it. You will see it.
I'm not allowed to vote you because I was told we'll lose. So
Wait, what?
I was told we'll lose. We always lose when we bet, so I'm not allowed to bet you anything.
No, but look, check it out, man. So there's growing dissension in the Democratic Party, is what I'm telling you, Break. So let me see what Freak 5 is saying. Wait a minute. There's a long thing. Yesterday, one lady was bringing a couple of carts through a tight spot where I was working. She asked me to move the cart I was working on out of the way. I told her the security guard just brought one through with no problem, and she said I have to take care of the front and the back. I bit my tongue because I don't know if she would appreciate the humor, but another coworker saw the look on my face and started laughing. So after she went past, a second lady came over to us and said, "That's what she said." I think it's closer to 45. Okay. The same independent voters that got Biden elected 4 years ago are more afraid of Trump now. And younger voters voting for the first time for a president are most likely to vote Democrat. And the older voters who have died since the last election are most likely to have been Republican. Then you need to vote for Trump to win, Freak 5 says. No. None of us are saying that, Freak
What's
5.
that supposed to mean? What?
I don't know. It was a comment
The fight
that
words.
I don't know what that's in reference to, but this is what I know. They're look,
Oh. He said he meant bet to win because I said I always lose my bets.
oh, I got you. I
mean
got you.
bet on Trump to win.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's more reasonable. Freak 5. I was like, what?
yeah,
No.
I'm like you need to vote for Trump. I'm like, how does that?
Uh, there's
What
been
did I say to make you say vote for him? I don't understand.
Well, we all know that nobody here is going to vote for Trump. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But that's what I'm
None
saying,
of
Break.
want to vote for Biden either. Like I'm
Yeah.
not. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. Because I absolutely 100% agree with you. God, Biden, no, please.
Yeah. So
I don't think there's enough time.
I think there is enough
We have to
time.
go with what we have.
I mean, everybody knows who Kamala Harris is. I'm not a huge fan of Kamala Harris, but I would vote if they picked a decent vice president candidate. I would go for Raskin. I would go for Ro Khanna, especially if you bring Ro Khanna to the table and present Ro Khanna as your VP. I'm in. All right, somebody like Raphael Warnock, I'm in. Right? Can you imagine that, an all black ticket? I would definitely be in on that, man. Or a Hispanic? Yeah, I'm in. I'm good. Also, did you see the?
To us, that's fine. But I'm saying, like, in this country,
Wow.
racism is out of control.
Well, we're about to find out, Break.
Sexism has been winning the fight lately because the Supreme Court took away women's rights in certain states. For God's
Yeah,
sakes,
I know, but that's.
They've
I
been
mean,
winning lately.
Yeah, I know, but the tide's got to turn at some point, So why not now?
I hope so.
I hope so too. I hope so too. All right. Any other? I didn't see you had a Sweeto, Eric. Did you have a Sweeto?
No.
All right. So let's go.
I do actually have a suite. I found it. And,
Okay.
There was. You would like this. Former Illinois Sheriff's deputy pleaded not guilty to murder on Thursday as he was arrested and fired by the police department. They did it all themselves after an internal investigation.
Oh, I did see this for sure, Break. I did see it.
Yes, they haven't released the camera footage yet, but apparently the woman called 911, and the police showed up, and of course the police shot her because.
Yes.
But what we usually get from police is total cover-up, like excuses and everything else. No, before the video footage has been released, this police department has said that what he did was completely unacceptable and it was murder.
Yeah.
I think this may be a first. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before.
Could be a first. It could be a first. I don't
Hopefully
think
it's good. Hopefully it's the start of a trend.
I agree. 100%.
Finally getting somewhere to rid of the rotten apples.
Yeah.
If the police wants to trust them, that's what they've got to do. They have got to clean themselves up.
Yeah. I think I agree with that, Break 100%. So this is good. That's good. Break. That's actually good news. Have any of you watched Letterkenny? There are 12 seasons on Hulu that me and Mrs. Freak have been binging.
It's too much show for me to start at this point.
I don't have Hulu Freak 5, so no. The answer. Have you, Break?
I might do that for Sunny, but not for a completely new show I've never heard of.
I will do that at some point on Freak's recommendation. I just have a kind of a line of shows I need to watch first. Like I need to watch the season finale of The Boys.
I do too. Is it 8? The episode 8? Break?
I'm pretty sure this is the season finale this week. I think, isn't it?
I think so. I think 8 is the season finale. Yeah.
Let me see. Godzilla and Kong, the New Kingdom's out.
And the minus color version, if you want to watch black and white version, it's coming in August.
Minus color, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
Pretty good stuff there. No, I have not seen. None of us have seen it. Freak 5 Dancer. All right.
Yeah, I'll get around to binging it at some point.
It's time for Panic Zone, and I think Breakman, you're up, right?
You've reached the Panic Zone.
All right, Breakman, you go ahead. I have to use the restroom real quick. I'll get caught up when I get back.
Okay, well, imagine you go to the restroom and you sit down and it's your business, and there's no toilet paper left, and you've been locked in the bed. No, I'm just kidding. No, stop with Frank. Okay, my real panic room goes. You wake up in the morning after a nice, peaceful rest. You feel really good because you had like this full night of rest, and you realize that your alarm clock never went off. You look over the alarm clock, and there's no power to it. Okay, maybe the electricity went off during the night. You look at your phone, and you see there's no signal on your phone. You get up and walk to the house and notice that the lights are out throughout the house. There's no power. And you look out the windows, and you see other neighbors like walking out of their homes, kind of confused as to what's going on too. What do you do?
My first thought would be like, did an EMP happen? Or are we in a situation where like just something made the power not work?
See, yeah, I'd probably go and talk to my neighbors right away, like, because like that'd be weird not having a signal and power. It's like definitely something happened, you know. There's something like some sort of attack on our communication systems or on power plants. I'd imagine like cell phones would still be on. They'd still have power to them as long as they're charged. But once the charge is dead, what are you going to do with it? Type thing. But yeah, there'd be so many questions you'd have to have answered, and things you'd have to worry about, like your food spoiling, family members you can't get in contact with, getting new food. Shit.
Or you could take this MV100 route, be like, yeah, I'm free. I don't have to go to work today.
I'm doing what the fuck I want. And you try and turn on the TV and there's no power. No.
I can read all those manga I don't have read yet.
It's like that episode of The Twilight Zone where he's reading the books, he breaks his glasses, and he's like, but there's time now. You remember that episode?
I don't think I saw that episode of Twilight.
Oh, that is a classic. Burgess Meredith plays this bookish husband type guy. Like his wife's kind of bossy, and all he wants to do is read his books. And he goes into a library or bank or something. I can't remember where he goes into. And he goes into the basement, and there's like a light or a flash or something like that. He comes out of the basement, and everybody is completely gone. He is all by himself.
All right,
and
I missed.
He does searching around and stuff like that, and he finally goes to a library, and he's like, I can do anything I want, and all he wanted to do was read books. And when he starts to go read books, he drops and breaks his glasses.
No, I can't read.
So then he's like, but there was time now. It was such a good episode.
What are you talking about?
What's that?
Which episode are you talking about?
I'm guessing he was farsighted if that was the problem. Because
remember when Burgess Meredith was the last guy alive, and all he wanted to do was read books, and he broke his glasses and couldn't read.
Yeah, yeah. So what's
Is the Twilight Zone streaming anywhere?
I would imagine probably on Shudder.
Mm.
So AMC, like I get that through Amazon Prime, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
yeah. So what is your panic zone this week, Break?
Okay, so you wake up in the morning after a really good night rest. It's probably the best night rest you had in a long time. And you look over at the alarm clock and realize why your alarm clock's off. It never went off. So you got to sleep. And you look at your phone, because, we're human beings. That's probably the first thing we do in the morning anymore. Used to be get up and you go to the bathroom and stuff. Now it's look at your phones. You look at your phone and there's no signal on your phone. So you get out of bed and you walk to the house and there's no power through your house. You look out your window and you see your neighbors are coming out of their houses with the same problem. What do you do?
Go back to bed.
I heard Mrs. Break there. Who are you asking first, Break?
You. Me and Eric already did this. We were already talking. You're late.
Jesus.
You had to go wipe your butt, and now we had to do this.
Wipe my butt. Okay, that's a good.
Is Spider-Man fighting Electro again?
So I would grab my radio and see if there's anything on the radio. Anything on the radio, Break?
There is no electrical power.
Nothing at all? Holy fuck. Okay,
would be I don't know if like Morse code and stuff like that would work.
Okay, I have a crank radio. Is that working?
It would work without electricity because we didn't have because they had that before electricity was prominent.
Right.
So we have to go back to things like Morse code, but there wouldn't be radio signals at that point because there's no electricity for the modern networks to broadcast.
Well, there are things such as generators and crank phones, so I'm sure there would be some radio transmissions, but for the sake of this exercise, well, yeah, that's a natural thing. There's always that one weirdo in the neighborhood that has ham radio. So I probably would look for that person first, see if they know anything. Do they know?
Let's just say that they do. They actually are able to pick up signals, and you find out it's a worldwide electrical crash.
Ooh, okay.
Find out what caused it, but electricity across the globe has gone away.
There are no aliens or anything like that.
He doesn't know. The only thing he knows is that there's no electricity.
Okay, no electricity. Okay.
See, that because of the lack of electricity, information is scarce. People don't really know Morse for the most part. Communication is, even if you are able to get a radio signal up, communication is still limited.
So this is worldwide. You're gathering because you can catch worldwide.
This
signals.
This is a very real possibility if like a solar flare just fires off just like the right burst.
Right, or
it can knock out everything.
Yes, or an electronic bomb, which has been experimented with. So this is definitely a possibility. Okay.
It's a terrible possibility, but yes.
Right, it is. It's a terrible possibility. Okay, so I think I'm okay because I've got plenty of food, water, and supplies. I'm not like one of those prepper nuts or anything, but I know short term I'm okay. I would probably talk to neighbors, give them that information, and I guess just wait for the power to come back up. Or, it's time to like really actually fucking learn how to be a survivalist. You know what I mean? Like get ready. So I would gather any books I had on survival. Yeah.
Just to interrupt you real quick, you have to think of thing with the food. Like if it's refrigerated, it's gonna spoil.
Yes. But there's myself, I have plenty of food to last short term. Plenty.
Okay.
Plenty.
I think the first thing I would do is I'd go to the library and get as many books as I could.
Absolutely, 100%. That's a great
idea.
To
learn how to do it, potentially anything.
Yep.
You gotta be careful if you're getting out on the road because you have to imagine when people are afraid, they're gonna be hitting the road trying to escape the big cities and stuff like that. Like Eric, you're not in a big city, so you probably won't have the same problems. Frank would in that occasion.
Right. So I guess, I mean, I have enough books. I have enough resourcefulness on my own. I'm not saying I'm the ultimate fucking survival expert, but I think Eric's idea is really sound. Gather as much books as you possibly can. Also, gather potential allies, some of your neighbors. Talk to your neighbors.
That's what I would do first, is talk to the neighbors, I think, to try and figure out what's going on. And you guys are doing that because you went and talked to the guy at the ham radio,
Right,
right?
right.
So you're building a relationship right away with people you already know. And I think if the world is coming to an end, that's probably the best and smartest thing to do right away, is to, build a community of people right away,
Yeah, right.
because
So,
one person isn't going to be able to survive by themselves for too long.
right. So you definitely have to be talking to neighbors, potentially more neighbors, and gathering allies. I mean, there's obviously no like zombie apocalypse. Nobody's turning on anybody or anything of that nature. So you have
But
to set up.
if the power stays out long enough and food becomes a problem, people will.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Food will be a problem. I know. I said that I have plenty in the short term, but what about your neighbor that doesn't really think about those things,
So one of
right?
the allies you could find is the local hunter.
100%. I think. See, where I'm at, it's interesting because there's actually a buffalo reserve that's what is it? Just north of here.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's a good supply of food for a good community of people. I mean, there's a lot of buffalo. It's the second biggest collection of buffalo in captivity in the world. So, I mean, there is that. There's a lot of wildlife around here, so I don't think food would be too big of a thing. Plenty of birds, plenty of deer, plenty of fish, stuff
Like,
like that.
I'm just
So
thinking a year later, the lights come back on. What happened to the buffalo? They're extinct now.
I know,
Oops.
I know, I know.
We
But
ate them all.
yeah, but yeah, community. I mean, that's a good exercise in learning how to deal with neighbors, right? I was just actually, this is interesting break because I was just talking to Bernie about this. Like back in the day when I was, I hate to sound like this, like I'm an old man, but I really am. But you used to talk to your neighbors, like, hey, go talk to so and so and get a cup of sugar, right, or a cup of flour, or whatever you needed, right? And people would not barter, but just give amongst each person. I don't know if you had that break when you were
Yeah,
younger,
of course.
but that's the way people used to do things back in the day. They used to share, Frank is the only fat person
So I used
around.
to get my neighbors hand-me-downs, but that's another
Frank is the
story.
only fat person around picking his teeth. I have no idea what happened to the buffalo. I have no idea, people. I really don't.
What's a
I think
buffalo? I've
Bells
never
is
heard of a
really
buffalo
loud.
before.
And I got a buffalo like fur, like coat, and like leather, like everything, and like 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 a brakeman, like
Those
one
were
of those,
buffalo? I thought those were cows.
like one of those like hats that Boone had back in the day, but not a raccoon. It's like buffalo ear, like that shaman had with the buffalo like horns and shit, and barbecue sauce on his chin. Yeah,
I have no idea what happened to the buffalo.
I'm not.
I swear, I
You know,
swear on the Holy Bible and my children's lives, I've never heard of buffalo before.
yeah. If people just, like even with the population in the cities, like if people just didn't panic, like I think everything would be okay if it's just the grid. Like if you add in something like zombie apocalypse or a plague
Mhm.
or anything of that nature, I think we would all be okay. I honestly, I think we would be fine. And we would have to do a lot of things like back in the day, like eventually go to horse and buggies and shit like
Mhm.
that.
I,
But
I think eventually we would be fine, but I think there'd be a lot of chaos initially and a lot of fighting,
oh yeah,
and
yeah, for
just
sure.
because there are so many people that they get desperate, they get hungry, and like, do whatever they need to do to survive.
Right, right. Well, up to and including pillaging other people's shit, right? Which is the scariest thing of all. But I think that's when the Second Amendment in this country really comes into action. You really would have to think about arming yourself just
Yeah.
to protect from people who wouldn't be so helpful. You know what I mean?
You're
Um,
right.
but other than that, I mean, I think we would be okay. I mean, I want to believe the best in people, but I know that
Mm.
that's not always the case. But I think people would sort it out. I mean, there would be a few casualties along the way, but I think people could sort out that particular scenario. Freak Five is exiled, you son of a bitch. But okay.
His childhood in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
it?
what did you say, Eric? I didn't get to hear your response.
Mm, I think I said something about going to a library.
Yeah, yeah. So you would learn how to trap animals and shit like that, Eric?
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, look, Colorado is, I mean, it's an easy scenario for us, man. We just go to the mountains and there's plenty of wildlife for everybody. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of deers, there's bears, I mean, we would probably decimate the population, but
Right.
but nonetheless, we would be okay. I mean, here in Colorado. I mean, I don't know about you guys' neck of the woods, the wildlife
Mhm.
population, but
Yeah, it's pretty good in Ohio.
yeah, yeah. So I think we would all be okay. I think we could set up a bartering system and not have to rely on money for one thing. Money would be pretty much who the fuck would need money at that point? I mean, nobody's going to pay for anything in money. So, maybe those gold nuts aren't too far off, man. Maybe we should be thinking about getting gold and jewels and silver and, shit like that, platinum and,
Well, this
diamonds.
is why would you think money would collapse if the government didn't collapse? Say, I mean, we don't know for sure. Would the government collapse without electricity? We still have the
Uh,
military power.
well, I mean, what do all our vehicles run on? Electricity. There's electric components to all of it. So I'm
Mm.
assuming there's going to be no vehicles whatsoever break.
Right, but we
You know.
still have but there's still going to be a government and a military and such like that.
Well,
It'll just we would just be returning to the olden days, the way it was essentially. But we're not.
right,
But we're not suddenly an anarchy.
right.
I
No, I'm not
think.
saying
I
that.
mean, maybe we'll fall into that, but I don't think right away.
Right, and I don't think necessarily going into an anarchic state would be the worst thing in the world. Anyways, people think of anarchy as pure and utter chaos. That's something different. Anarchy is
You
just
can make computers and use electricity based on vacuum technology. You just redevelop it.
vacuum technology. Wow.
That's what they
Um.
did in this one anime. Like all the world's computers ended, and electricity just ended up stopped working,
Well, I
and they
mean,
had to resort to using like vacuum to get all their stuff back.
we used to have vehicles that ran on steam. Why can't we do that again? I mean, I mean, steam run vehicles or electric. Well, not electric vehicles because that's by the wayside. But steam or
Reinvest in nuclear power.
oh God, no, please, no, 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 no. Hydrogen. I mean, there's hydrogen vehicles. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
Airships are back, baby.
I know. Zeppelins. Get in the Zeppelin. We're going to fucking Cincinnati, It's like can you imagine how long it would take a Zeppelin to get to Cincinnati
Holy shit!
from
Oh
Denver?
my god! Like, how slow do those fucking things travel?
I
Like,
know, man.
goddamn.
I mean, I've heard of like slow travel and all, but man, this is something else, man. And then
Yeah.
you'd always have that person. Well, you just be glad you're in a Zeppelin and not walking to Cincinnati, you son of a
Yeah, you
bitch.
could be in a hot air balloon and it take you 80 days to get around the damn world. And how you like them apples?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I
We could
mean,
name the airship Daryl.
the SS Daryl. I love it. All right, I think we're gonna end it on that great of a note. Did you happen to hear the intro song when you were on your way break, or you didn't bother?
No, I was
All
in
right.
cars.
Well, you're gonna hear the outro, which is the same as the intro here, and I got a new one. So let's do our plugs and get the hell out of here, man. Break, plug away.
I would like to unplug traffic. It made me late.
Yeah, I know, right? Traffic
And
sucks.
I would like to plug
Ah!
Harmy because I forgot about Harmy last few weeks.
Yeah. Ah. Wow, you're out of practice, Breakman. I have to say,
Yeah,
man,
that was sour note. That was really bad.
That was really bad.
I'm sorry, Harmy. I tainted you.
I think Harmy tainted him or herself, man. All right, Eric, plugs, please.
You can find my written reviews on BostonBashBrigade.com, or you can listen to my audio reviews on the feed for the site. And if you like either of those things and you want to support me, there's a link to my Patreon and my Twitter and Blue Sky profiles, which is at EricRPG.
All right. I want to unplug the weather here. Like right now, looks like it might rain, which will add a lot of humidity and misery to us, unless it really, really rains and cools us down quite a bit. I want to unplug Freak 5 Chaos. That son of a bitch is exiled. What else? The Boys has been fun. It hasn't been quite as good as previous seasons, but I think it's still worth watching. So make sure you watch that. We're not going to be here next week. Next week is the final Friday. We've rolled a D20 on it, and we're not... how dare you? You're exiled too, you son of a bitch.
I forgot.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I tried to fight it and we lost.
Yeah. Well, no, I gave it a fair shot. You know.
I know. So. We tried. We thought you won. You won fair and square.
You won.
Won?
Yeah.
Won. I said won.
So
won, number one.
So no show next week. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Let's see what else do I want to plug. That's about it. Anyways. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, and then we'll get started on our regular rotation. I think next time is what do we got next time? It's not game night. I think it's driver's seat. So next time you see us, we'll be doing driver's seat along with all the rest. Enjoy your new. If you guys like this, let me know. If you don't, let me know that too, so I know to change it. I wanted to do something new before episode 800, but maybe I need to do a new intro. But here's the new intro / outro. Tell me what you guys think.
I love it. Oh, sorry.
All right, Freak 5, nice to have you in there, buddy. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And everybody listening on the archives, thank you guys, the replay crew, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, thank you all so much as well. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. What do you guys think of that intro / outro? You like it, Break?
Yeah, like I've heard it somewhere before.
You may have. It's a song called I Don't Want to Be by Typo Negative, just done in 8-bit form. So that's where that's from. What do you think, Break? Not too bad?
Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool.
I like it changing. I like it when we change themes up. I
do too.
Fresh.
I might think of something new for 800, but if not, that's going to be the new one going forward for now, and then, whatever. But episode 800 coming up in less than 2 months now, gents. So I don't know if we want to have a drunken high version. I'm totally down for that. So whatever you guys think, let me know. All right. Freak 5, let me say thank you, Freak 5. I know you're here almost every week, and we really appreciate it. Everybody listening on the archives, stay safe this weekend. Obviously, we want to see you back here next week, and we